What's up, everyone? Live again because I can't stay away. Just love sharpening, and when I do it live, it's like extra motivational to do it. So I gotta get some stuff done, and I'm at home, and it's Christmas break. I'm waiting for some people to join me. We're sharpening this today. It's a 204p rec PM2. Who we got with me? Oh, we got our first visitor. Who is G-Man W? What's up? Oh, hey, Jake. I'm going to pin this jammer. So go in here. Oh, I got to make this an announcement post so people can see it. Boom. So we're going to sharpen this. I am out of customer knives to sharpen. Now I'm going to sharpen it for fun. I got one fixed blade to do, and then this one's been bothering me because I have never sharpened it. I have the regular Cadet. Mine's actually the Nero. So the Nero is finished black. That's all it means. But I have the regular Cadet, which has this knob. So you just turn this knob and loosens this screw up. And then you can take this and go up and down. And then when you get to the right spot you want, you just screw it and tighten it up. The Pro has a knob that dials, like mechanically raises and lowers it, and it costs like more. I bought mine right before the Pro came out. I actually kind of like the non-Pro, to be honest, because I can quickly change the angle, and I don't need the ability to just tiny clicks. You can just tiny move it. It's not a big deal. So yeah, that is the TS Prof Cadet regular. On the topic of sharpening, what was the toughest learning curve when you first started? The thing that changed everything, that made sharpening make sense to me, was the Sharpie. That was the biggest learning curve, was learning how to apex an edge. So we're going to do that first thing right now. But the biggest thing you need to learn is to use a Sharpie, and I will demonstrate that now, here in a second. When you can apex the edge, then you're actually sharpening. So just getting that concept is really simple. It took some time. So I'll put this in the clamps. I'm going to use this one. So lightly tightening it in the clamps. First thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to take our stone. We're going to line it up with the flat grind at the heel and make them straight. So flat grind at the heel and the stone are parallel. Okay. Tighten down. Now we're going to get some electrical tape. Come on. So we're going to protect the ricasso in the heel because this is a rec blade. It's got a coated finish on it. And coated finishes are pretty tough, but they're definitely not tough enough to withstand a CBN stone. Because if I wanted to, you just grind quick, just tap the finish and you have a scratch on it. So I'm putting tape on the ricasso and anywhere else the blade's going to land next to the stone. So mainly the heel, just so I can grind up close against it. Okay. Oops. So the tough part about when I'm putting tape on here is I have to push it up against a flat grind line and back against the vertical face as much as possible so we can get the heel nice and tight. Okay. So I'm going to set this stone to 17 degrees because that's my standard Spyderco starting point. And we'll see where it's at. Okay, 17 degrees. Marker the edge. So this is the base learning curve, is learning how to do this. It's not hard, it's just you have to know to do it. So we're marker on the edge. We're at 17 degrees, which is the standard Spyderco factory angle. Let's see how well they ground it. And we're at a really high stone, so we're switching that stone back to a 150, which is what we're going to use. So right now at 17 degrees, we're hitting the front of the bevel on this side, which means the angle is too steep, which means it's actually less than 17 degrees. On this side, we're right pretty much dead on 17. So we're going to stay 17. And we're going to profile this edge. The presentation edge will have some more work than the clip side edge. Clip side edge is pretty much dead on. Okay, set our stock collar. We're good. Stock collar and bumper. Now we're just going to lightly grind away. I think we're going to put, what kind of edge should I put on this? I think I'm just going to put a satin edge on this for now. I don't think we need a mirror. Let it stop shaking a little bit. Okay. Who do we got with me? Someone pop up in the comments here. We're a little slow going. So the heel on this has what many Spyderco heels has. It has a divot about, I don't know, an eighth or a quarter of an inch away from the very end of the edge. There's like a little divot. It looks like, I can't see it, but it's a spot where the marker's still at, and it's just by itself. So this is what I see a lot when I do heels and Spydercos, is getting that divot out is important, and when it's out, your edge will look nice. But until it's out, it's going to bother me. So that's all we have left to work on this edge, is this little divot. They're usually the hardest spot to get out. So to get it out, stones you're not supposed to put pressure on, blah, blah, blah. Sharpen light, don't turn your stone. To do the heel, you're going to use pressure, and you're going to tilt your stone like this. You're going to twist it a little bit into the end of the edge, and that'll help you get into where you need to get into, and it will make your heel look nice. So yes, pressure, and yes, twist the stone. This is art. You're trying to carve off a little piece of metal, and that's the easiest way to get there, is to put a little pressure on it. And it's already out. Okay, that's enough on this side for now. Now do the other side, which is already pretty much where it needs to be, except for the heel. So this side is really simple. The tip is profiled really well, nice and pointy. Body is good to go. Now we're just creating a burr. And the heel isn't bad. So this side is simple. So this is why I sharpen stuff at 17 degrees, is on a well done Spyderco, it will turn out this way. Usually you won't get this lucky on both sides, but this side is basically done. It's got a burr, it's profiled, good to go. I appreciate that, Facebook user. What else do you want to learn? What can I be talking about while I'm doing this? So let me know. That's why I do this. Have some Martinelli's apple cider, because 'tis the season, you know what I'm saying? Okay, one more pass at 150 on this side. Now we're trying to take out the burr. I'm just making sure the edge looks nice. Everything's evenly profiled. Scratches are all lined up. We're taking the same direction strokes. Good to go. Pop it. Okay, switch to 400 grit. So you can feel the burr. It makes a different noise when you sharpen and you're apexing the edge. And if there's a burr, if you just flipped it, you'll feel it. And that's a good thing, which means your edge, you're right on the edge. So now I'm just polishing the 400 grit stone forward and do a couple strokes backwards to kind of mess the pattern up that's in the edge from the last stone. And then go forward again to straighten them back out. Make sure we get any spots that might have been hiding. Good to go. I'm going to do 2 passes of 400 grit because there's still a burr. Higher grits, I only do 1 pass because we're not done with the burr. That 400 grit, as soon as you do this edge, you're flipping it over and there's a burr. You do 1 flip, quick deburr. Love learn tricks on my final stone for getting the micro burr off. I don't. I just sharpen it twice. One time I sharpen it through and make sure there is a burr, and the second time I sharpen it past on the 400 grit stone anyway. I just try to minimize it. When I go to my higher stones though, like there isn't a noticeable burr at all. My 800 grit stone turns burrs into powder. Um, so yeah, at 400 grit, we're still going to strop. I'm just going to do 2 passes to kind of minimize it, and then I'm going to pull the burr off on the straw. I'm not a pro at that, though. Okay. Only forward passes help. I do both, but really, it's only matters is in the end what way your passes are lined up, and it's purely aesthetic. If your scratch pattern is lined up, but I tend to sharpen forward, and then I'll do some backwards just to kind of mess the pattern up, so I can re-go through and reline it up again, make sure it's all good. That's me. That's not like any scientific backing behind that. That's just how I sharpen. But yeah, forward and backwards passes, they both help. It's just a matter of how it's going to look at the end. Is pressure lighter? Yeah, I guess so. The 150 stone, when we're profiling, has the most pressure by far. The other stones are pretty light. The advice of just like these stones are heavy. The advice of just like letting the stone do the work is not bad because they're heavy, so they are putting pressure on it. But you just kind of naturally will put some pressure on it. Why does changing scratch pattern help? Because when I go for the 400 grit stone, let's say, or the 150, and all my scratches are going this way, when I go to the next stone up and I go this way and I scratch through them and then switch back, I'm relining them up the way that they were before, and it makes sure if there's any artifacts that were hidden the way it was lined up before, they get hit and they get scratched the opposite direction, so they kind of clear out. Scott Gunn kind of taught me that. It seems to work. It leaves me nice looking edges. It just helps you reveal some of the steel that might not be lined up quite right. Yeah, but 800 is definitely lighter pressure. I'm really not putting any weight on this, just the weight of a little bit of my hand and the stone. Just now we're killing the burr and we're polishing the bevels. So it's probably done. I just go a little bit. I hate finding random scratches later, so I kind of overdo my 800 just to make sure it's all polished up. So now 800 stone, we're going to look in the light and kind of look for shadows. Those are areas that didn't get polished, and we're good. That's what I think is fun about sharpening. I don't watch very few YouTube videos in general, but I don't watch YouTube sharpening videos. Not that I don't want to learn from other people or not that I think I'm doing it the best way, but I've just kind of developed my style with some input from people over time. And I don't know. It's kind of weird teaching people to sharpen because it makes you feel like whatever you say is the way it's supposed to be. The way I sharpen is just the way I sharpen. I know everyone else does it a little bit different, but this works for me. It just takes time and practice. So you'll develop your own skills. So if you see someone on YouTube doing something and you don't feel comfortable with the way they're stroking something, don't do it that way because if you can't do it comfortably, you're not going to do it right. You're not going to do it precisely. So yeah, just learn to sharpen and then practice, and you'll develop your own techniques. Main tip for rounding the tip is when you get to the tip, you never want your stone to do that. You never want your stone to tip off the edge. You want to stay flat. And to do that, to do a little extra help, what I do is I take my index finger when I have a lot of work to do on tip, and I put it right here. And then I do this, and it helps keep the stone at the same plane, and it keeps it flat. And I just go straight 90 degrees perpendicular into the tip, and that keeps the tip pointier actually. But just like that, with your finger down there, keeps the stone flat. It keeps you from rolling off. That's how you not run the tip. And you can always straighten the tip. This takes more work. So if you have a bad tip now, you can take it and put it on the sharpener, take out a little material, and you'll be good. Okay. And that's 800 grit. I guess I wasn't going to mirror this, but I guess I am now. I'm going to take this to 400. Here's 2,000 grit stone. I guess we're mirroring this bad boy. Because why not? Polishing this up. I don't know how long I'm going to leave this mirror on. That's cool and all, but unless the mirror is really nice looking, kind of particular about it. This is nice looking and all, but we'll see. Let's do one more pass at 2,000. Feel like this is not quite where I want to be yet. Okay. Let's, for funsies, we're going to go up to 5,000. The stone doesn't get used very often. When I do a mirror for a customer, it's a 2,000 grit mirror, which is quite shiny. I don't know how much of a difference this makes, but we have it, so let's use it. Very slick. It's like rubbing glass on glass. It slides very smoothly across the stone. So we're putting very little pressure because it's just sliding. It's not really biting into the metal. Just sliding over the other burnished surface. Okay, we're going to say that's done. The KME is a good system, but the TS Prof is definitely a couple steps above it in terms of substantialness and quality. TS Prof is expensive though, and they keep on getting more expensive because they're made in Russia. But learn on your KME, keep rocking that bad boy. It'll do anything. It'll sharpen a mirror. When you're ready to move up, then let me know and I'll help you out. So we're going to strop this with 0.5 micron gunny juice on a paddle strop. Okay. Now let's do pass with a little bit of gunny glow and a magic eraser. Clean it up. Get the marker off. Get the smudges out. Got a little smudgins on the FDEs. That's hard to clean. Okay. I strop very little. I also only usually use one diamond emulsion. My stones are good enough that I get a mirror without having to go through like 6 and 3 and 1.5 and 0.25 micron. I just use Premier half micron. It's fine, and the stones are already polished the edge enough that's not a big deal. I used to strop like for 10-15 minutes, and it's because I had KME stones and they don't mirror as well as you want. But these do mirror like that. That's nice. 5K mirror, half micron strop. Took about, to blab in about 20 minutes. It looks pretty nice. Looks good on this coating. God, this stuff's hard to keep clean though. I think most people overstrop, but I might understrop. But the goal of a strop, the only thing you need to do, you might want to polish the bevels to make it look clean, but what you need to do is remove the burr. So you only need like a pass to remove the burr. So, give it a few passes, give it a little shine, make sure you got the whole burr off. But if you over strop, you're going to lose your aggressiveness on your edge. It'll take the microserrations off of it. It'll make it duller. It'll make it convex. Because right now this thing is stupid sharp. This is very sharp for a mirror. It's very aggressive for a mirror too. Yeah, so it's sharp. That's all it takes to do a mirror. It's really not that hard. If you want to get a mirror and you're banging your head against the wall, just invest in expensive stones. Honestly, it's the way. Thank you, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but thank you. No. Yes, you can. You can get just as sharp as edges, almost. You can get just as sharp as edges. You're not going to get that kind of mirror on a KME because the KME's top stone is, I think, 1500 grit. It's just, it leaves a finish that's not as mirrored as my stones leave. You can mirror it. You can take a strop to a KME 1500 grit edge and make it polished and look cool. That's how I started doing mirrors. But then when you move up to like expensive stones, your mirrors start getting brighter and brighter, and then you get used to doing it, and it kind of loses its fun factor. Like doing a mirror is not like mind blowing anymore because I know the process. I kind of actually like satin edges now because I get to concentrate more on making it cut instead of making it all look perfect. But KME, learn on that when you're ready to upgrade. TS Prof's a great option. And these Hapstone Premium CBN stones are my favorite purchase of 2023 by far. They're my favorite purchase of 2023. They work so good. What else? The best place to get stones is Gritomatic, but they are Gritomatic's the biggest place that has stones. They have a lot of them. They're always sold out of all the ones you need, though. Like they'll have my stones, but they'll be missing all the grits that I use. They'll have other random grits. So if you want Hapstone stones, just you can either get them off Gritomatic if they have them in stock, or go to Hapstone's website. They ship out of Ukraine, so they take about 2 or 3 weeks to get here. But they'll sell you the set of them. They're $65 a piece. And they'll sell you the 80, 150, 400, 800, 2,000, 5,000 grit set, which is 6 stones. You just watch me do that. I didn't even use the 80. 80 is just for chips. 80 is really aggressive. But get it from Hapstone or get it from Gritomatic. I'm sure there's more, but I don't know any others really. Like, I don't know, with the edges I use. What else you guys got? I'm going to sharpen this while I'm sitting here. So this is a already mirrored Maximum. So why would I want to sharpen that? Well, because I can touch this edge and it's sharp, but it's not scary. Cuts paper fine, but it feels like it's not aggressive. It feels like it's got no teeth to it. So it's sharp visually. I sharpened this a long time ago on the KME. And I just dropped the shit out of it because I wanted to take it to Blade Show. I took it to Blade Show. I showed Eric and Sal this edge, and they seemed mediocrely impressed by it because it looks nice. But now that I realize it's not as sharp as it should be, it's time to fix it. So this one, we're going to do the Sharpie on the edge. This one's been sharpened before. And this one, we're going to put a 400 grip edge on, and we're going to take the mirror off. So let's go to 150. And it's right at 17 degrees where it was set from the last time. We're going to do a little work on the side. One side's perfect. It's been sharpened, but I want to get 17. There you go. Okay. So since we have a satin blade, we don't need to cover the ricasso because this flat grind mark right here, that bumper, is not going to get chewed up by the stone because the stone doesn't have aggregate really exposed. So we're just going to bump up against that and sharpen this edge. This one wasn't measured before it was sharpened, so it's a little bit off. So we're going to take it down slightly before we are where we want to be. So this one was a little bit off. I'm bringing it down just a little bit. This is going to be satin edge though, so it doesn't have to look as perfect, luckily. Not that I do my edges different, but scratches, you don't have to pay as much attention to if you're doing satin. On this side, we're right on. we're just going to try to rough it up and create a burr. So that was already where it needs to be. One thing that I think people, because I get a lot of questions about like what system this is, it does matter. It does matter what equipment you use, but you can get good edges without having to use my same equipment. The thing that I think people pay less attention to is they concentrate on the sharpener and not as much on the stone. And there's not a, it's hard to learn about stones. I don't know shit about stones, but I just know people have told me and taken advice. And I had enough other people tell me that these stones are the shit that I bought them. They are the shit, absolutely the shit. I'm not saying that there's other ones that are bad, but I will say it's an upgrade. I upgraded from Venev Orion stones, which are resin bonded diamond. They are more expensive than these. These kick the living shit out of those stones in every possible way. So I just go with these. I love them. I'm not a professional, but this is the best purchase of the year by far. Yeah. Venevs, the ones I had Orions. They were not flat, and they were not. I mean, they were cupped because I wore them because I used a lot of pressure. I mean, I cupped them out fast. These don't cup. These stay flat because they're made of metal. And I got out of. I just fucked my Venevs up pretty fast before I sold them. These I have been unable to fuck up. I'm interested in trying Poltava metal bonded CBN stones. They're $90 or $100 a piece, so they're better, I guess, because they're 50% more expensive. Probably not, but I am interested in trying them. But these half stones are amazing. Okay, let's see how this is doing. It's really hard to feel the burr on Maxima sometimes. Okay, now I got a burr forming the backside. Yep, nice. Now I'm interested to see what year this Maxima is, because after we did a little experiment with the heat treating on two 2017 Maximus, I'm wondering if this is one of my other 2017s that I bought when they first dropped. Oh, am I frozen? Boson? I'm back, Walter. If you're still there, all 2 viewers, I'm back. My MacBook froze. Give me an excuse to buy a new MacBook, maybe. Who knows? Trying to create a burr on Max on the backside. Got a burr on one side. Got a burr, got a burr. Okay. Do a deburring pass. Quick pass to 400. We want this to be extra aggressive, so we're just going to 400. It's on Maximate. Maximate does great at 400. Better than polished by far. Okay, we're all done. Give her a strop at 3 micron. Okay, good to go. Moment of truth. Much better. Not as cool looking, not as shiny, but it cuts a lot better than that shitty mirror I did long ago. It's a good mirror, but it was just polished to death and not aggressive. This is more fun. This is more rewarding having just a sharp knife I just fucking sit here and cut paper with. Nice. Do you mean physically looking or cutting? So like shape or cutting? If you're looking at making it pointier, if this is your edge going up like this is your point and it's rounded over, you're going to do strokes like this, 90 degrees into it, and it'll eat it back, and then up ones like that, and then 90 degrees to scrub it in. So you're just going to go 90 degrees against the grain, and that will bring your tip back. Also, if you need to eat some steel, you can set it at a higher angle. So if you need to bring back a bunch of steel, I do this all the time. On a tip is you bring it up to like 30 degrees, like as high as your sharpener will go, and just eat away the front of the bevel until it's where you need to be, and then drop your angle, and then then you're creating the bevel, but the leading edge is at the right location. So it's less material. It just works easier. I don't know why. Yeah, raise the angle. If you have a lot to take off, or if you have a broken tip And yeah, I don't know. Just scrub on it. Okay, well, I think we're about good. I'll have to say bye to Walter and whoever else is joining us today. Go watch my son who's playing Minecraft, but that was fun. Thank you all for joining me again. That was cool. Bye.